Why didn't I go to the More Expo or Overland Expo West this year? Hi, everybody. I'm Rob, and this is Storm Crow Overland, where we talk about going on adventures, road tripping, camping, and just generally getting out and enjoying life. Earlier this year, I made a video talking about some of my plans for the year, and those plans included going to either, maybe both, the More Expo and Overland Expo West. And the way it worked out is neither one of those happened. I figured I should kind of talk about why I didn't go, and then share some pros and cons, at least how I see them when it comes to expos. Uh, when it came to the More Expo, the big thing there, I will kind of get my actual reasons out of the way first, and we'll go into some pros and cons. Uh, I ended up missing More Expo just because I had some stuff going on. I had some family things going on. It was kind of weird. Actually, I was planning on going. I almost bought my tickets, and then we found out I had a family get together to go to down in Texas. Well, so planning to go do the family thing, try to put family first, and then going down there, my kid got sick, so we didn't go. But then it was too late, obviously, to go to the More Expo. But luckily, some friends were camping here, so I went camping with them, and that worked out. I still went and got out, did things, got to see some stuff. Wasn't the big expo, but it was still something. Uh, Overland Expo West, it's a little different. I had really considered going to it. It's in a neat place. It's a place like it's in Flagstaff. I love New Mexico. I love northern Arizona. So I love going through there. I've got some other family in Arizona that would have been really easy to swing by, say hi to while I was there. Realistically, this year it didn't work. My kid is very heavily involved in dance. She's usually at dance practice 4 or 5 nights a week for 2 or 3 hours each time. I mean, she's a very serious dancer, and it's the thing. I mean, it's what she does. And of course, the weekend of Overland Expo West was the weekend of her annual dance recital. I Not even close. I'm going to the dance recital. I'm that dad. I'm at everything for my kid. I don't miss anything. So especially when Overland Expo, it sounds so cool, and I want to go so bad. But at the end of the day, it's a convention for my hobby. It doesn't outweigh other responsibilities. It doesn't outweigh being there for my kid. It doesn't outweigh the joy I get watching my kid do her thing. Whether I'm not a big dance person, but watching anybody you care about do something they're passionate about is awesome. That's a great adventure to go on right there, because you're going on their adventure with them, whether it's an outdoor adventure or a dance recital. You're going along. So I'm not sad that I missed it. I mean, it would have been neat to go maybe next year, but I had more important things to worry about, and that's a good thing. So, kind of going into pros and cons of expos in general, they're kind of weird. The more you think about it, most of us, at least most of the people I know that do overlanding stuff, we do this to get away from people. A lot of even though all the Instagram and YouTube stuff you see, a lot of overlanders seem to be a little more introverted. They don't want the big crowds and crowded places. They want to go out by themselves or just a handful of people and get away. So seems counterintuitive to want to take these people and gather them all up and put them in one spot, and it's just weird. And I'm very introverted. Um, Might be getting a little personal here. I've got what I would say a very mild case of PTSD. I'm not great in big crowds and loud noises. And it's just I'm not gonna freak out or anything. It just makes me uncomfortable. It's not my thing. Uh, I want to be out away from everything, more comfortable that way. So going to expos makes me a little nervous. I'm worried, just worried that I will get lost in myself, and it'll just be too much, and I'll get overwhelmed and just not enjoy it. And I'll make the effort to go, with time, money, gas, all that effort to go, and then end up not enjoying it because of me, not because of the actual thing. And that sounds horrible. I don't want to do that. If I'm going to throw that effort into it, I want to enjoy it. And I probably would, but these are the things that I think about. It makes me, I might, this is might not work out the way I want. And then it's also your these things do cost time and money and gas and time off work and time away from family. Do I want to go to one of these events? Like I said, they sound super cool. I do want to go to some of them, but do I want to spend a week to go to Overland Expo West, or do I want to spend a week to go do a backcountry discovery route? I'm probably going to end up picking the backcountry discovery route. And it might, at the end of the day, end up being cheaper, even factoring in all the gas and food and all that, because I'm not paying to get in, and I'm not paying for food trucks, and I'm not paying and things that are fun. But just when I start kind of prioritizing and racking and stacking things, and they don't end up super high for me. The other thing that something I try to focus on this channel is you don't need a bunch of fancy stuff. You figure out what works for you. You don't need the shiny gizmos. I mean, you need whatever you need. If you just need it because it's cool, I understand that too. I've got stuff like that. But man, I know what would happen if I went to More Expo or Overland Expo. I'm gonna walk around and I'm gonna see all the new stuff, all the new gadgets and my heart is gonna fall in love, and I'm like, oh my god, I need this shiny little whatever it is. Man, I really want this. And my brain's gonna kick in and go, hey idiot, you don't need that. It's not solving a problem you have, or you would have already wanted it. You just want it because you saw it. And my brain's going to overrule and say, no, we're not going to do this. We don't need this. We're not going to spend money on this. But my heart won't understand, and it will still be broken and still want the thing. So I'll be kind of split going, I know I don't need that, but part of me will still be upset that, oh man, I really want it though. And I don't need it. I really don't. It's not going to, most of these things that, I'm going to end up seeing there, they're not going to make my adventures any better. They're not going to make me a happier person. They're not going to make me a better overlander. It's just stuff. And I'm sure there are things there to solve problems, but guess what? I will see YouTube videos about them, or I will see Instagram posts about them, or they'll be on websites for sale next week. And if it's really something that I do need or that really does solve a problem for me, I'll find out about it still. And if it's something I need, I'll get it. And I may not be the first one on the block with the new toy, and that's okay too. No big deal. Let everyone else figure out the bugs in the new thing, or figure out how to make it work, or how to mount it, or whatever it is. Everything's weird. This is kind of sounding like I'm down on these things, but I'm not. There's lots of great things about these. Um, while I've never been to an actual Overland Expo or the More Expo or anything like that, I've been to other big convention-y type things for my other hobbies like this, and there is always good points. Except there's some downsides, but there's always good things. There is something magical about being around people who just dig the things you dig. The people that nerd out over what you nerd out. I mean, I can talk about tents and camp stoves and whatever all day to my wife, and she just doesn't care. She'll listen because she loves me, but at the end of the day, as long as the tent stays up and the air mattress is comfortable, she doesn't care. She doesn't care if it works better or packs down smaller, or it doesn't matter. As long as it works, she's happy. But it's nice sometimes to hang out with people like you and be able to nerd out about over, oh my God, look how this mattress is made out of this other thing and it does this or does that, or oh, here's a new camp stove that does this many more BTUs, or just whatever it is. It's fun to go talk to other people and just be around people that enjoy what you enjoy. The other thing that I've always loved, and whether it's been going to big car shows and car meetups or motorcycle shows, for me, sometimes the parking lot is more fun than the show. And I think stuff like Overland Expo and more will be kind of the same way. Yes, in the show, you're going to have the fancy sponsored, the rigs with all the stuff on it. That's not me. I'm not going to have the crazy fancy, I'm not going to have an Earth Roamer or a Gladiator with $100,000 worth of extras poured into it. That's not me. It's not what I do. I like seeing the stuff in the parking lot that it's the guy's daily driver, but he's modified it enough so that he can use it for all the fun stuff he wants to go out and do, but can still use it to drive to work if he needs to. I want to see that guy. I want to see how he's solving problems. I, not I got a $200 mount for my $50 propane tank. I want to find the guy that's like, oh, I needed a way to carry traction boards, a kayak, and a propane tank, and a trash bag, and I figured out how to do it this way. I want to talk to that guy. I want to see what he's figured out. Garbage truck's going by. Hopefully it's not too loud. If it is, I'll edit this or figure something out. But I want to go to one of these expos and just wander around the parking lot and see the creative ways that other people have solved problems that I might need solved too. And you never know. Maybe I'll have a creative thing that someone else didn't think of, and I've solved their problem that I can help them too. It's a collaborative effort. We're all in this together. We can all figure things out. We've all got different ideas that might work out great. Like I said, that almost, just hanging out in the parking lot almost sounds more fun than the whole show. I'm going to kind of split with More and Overland Expo real quick. The More Expo, at least the way I understand it, from whoever I talk to, it is more of kind of almost like a trade show. It's more just like new products and stuff. It's more inside, which is fine. Nothing against it at all. I still kind of want to go, and I may actually go next year. We'll see. It would be nice to see all the new stuff that's coming out, or especially if you are new to this and you don't know. I don't know how long I was into Overland. I was into overlanding for years before I ever heard of the company Timbo Tusk, who makes cool stuff like the Scottle that we all joke about. But they make a lot of cool stuff, and it would suck to like not even know they existed. And I'm sure there's other cool companies out there that even now I've never heard of. And I want to go see what are some of these other companies or the new companies that might be coming up with a better way to do things. I want to see that. I want to see this stuff. And it's also a great way to build connections, whether it's with companies that you want to support or just other YouTube people, or even if it's just other people camping. You're like, oh man, I'm in Oklahoma. If I saw another guy with an Oklahoma plate, I'm gonna go over and be like, hey, what part of Oklahoma are you in? Where do you go? Where do you hang out? Where do you like to go camp? Build more connections that way. Sounds awesome. Oh, but the thing about Overland Expo that makes me want to go so bad is the training opportunities. Oh my God, I love training. I'm everything I can think of at work that you can be a trainer for. I am a trainer for, because I love training. I love teaching people new things. I love learning new things myself. If there's something new to learn, I want to learn it. If there's I don't care if it's first aid or vehicle maintenance or vehicle recovery or cooking or electrical, whatever it is. If it's out there, I want to know. I want to learn. I want to know everything I can. There is, life is too short to not take the chance to learn new things. And kind of a sidebar here, Alzheimer's runs pretty big in my family. It seems like there's been a lot of research that the more you continue learning, the more it kind of keeps your brain going. It kind of helps fend off some of that stuff. And not gonna lie, the idea of eventually getting Alzheimer's and not being able to remember things or remember who I am, that scares the crap out of me. So anything I can do to help fight that demon off, and I'm gonna learn everything I can. If Alzheimer's wants to come for me, they better swing, because I'm going to have a lot for it to help me forget before I forget who I am. We're going to, all kinds of random knowledge is going to be up in here for it to work on. So I'm going to learn everything I can. And just all the awesome training opportunities I hear about out there just sound amazing. On top of the fact that you're in northern Arizona, where there's so many cool trails and places to camp. You could spend a month out there and not see everything, much less try to see it all in a week. There's just so much cool stuff. So, yeah, this year I decided not to make it to either one of the expos just because of how things worked out. Oh, one last con. Overland Expo is expensive, especially if you want the actual like the full package where you can go to all the training, which is what I would want to do. It's expensive. It's more is not bad, but man, when I started looking at prices for Overland Expo, it's expensive. And I'm aware that there are some ways to get the cost down and some things you can do there. And I know some people that I've talked to about that a little bit, and I will probably look into that if I ever actually end up going. But whoo, that's expensive. But I'm sure it's worth it. It's I wouldn't question the actual value of it at all. So maybe next year I can get out some of this stuff. Uh, Maybe next year I'll try to pick one and not try to be ambitious and do both, or maybe I'll end up with both. Who knows? They both sound great. Um, just going to depend on how things work out. If my kid's annual dance recital ends up on the same weekend as Overland Expo, oh well, I'm picking the kid every time. That's how it goes. Oh well, that's really all I have about the expo stuff. Kind of a weird topic, I know, but just kind of what was on my mind today, so I thought I'd share it. I know some of y'all may be tired of hearing about this, but coming up soon, June 10th, we have the Sugar Creek Loop cleanup, and I am super happy to announce I had applied for a trail stewardship grant through Tread Lightly. I've got Tread Lightly's new shirt, Protect the Adventure. Big fan. I know some people aren't huge fans of the Tread Lightly organization itself. I understand their objections, but there's not a lot of groups out there doing more than they are. No organization's perfect, so I'm still going to support the ones that are out there doing good things. But I applied on the website for a trail stewardship grant. Got a call from a very nice lady at Tread Lightly. She wanted a little bit more information about what I was doing, and kind of walked her through the whole concept of what we were doing to clean up the Sugar Creek Loop. And she asked me if we could, this event, if we would be part of Tread Lightly and Quadratech's 50 for 50, or 50 in 50, I think, sorry. Basically, Quadratech is working with Tread Lightly to sponsor 50 trail stewardship events in 50 states in 2023, and asked if we would be a part of it. I was thrilled to even be asked, to even be considered for our, what to me is this little event. It's my first time planning an event like this, but they've come on as an official supporter. They're cutting us a check to help with trash bags and gloves. And God, I hope you can hear this over that stupid garbage truck. Okay, garbage truck's moving on, so we can keep going. So yeah, Tread Lightly is going to send us. They're going to support us by giving us some money to buy trash bags and gloves and stuff like that. Make sure everybody's got. We have a bunch of waters for everybody. If you're not familiar with, if you haven't, this is the first time you've heard of me talking about the Sugar Creek Loop cleanup. We're going to do it June 10th after the OKC Rigs and Coffee. I'll have a link in the description below. Basically, it's a fairly popular trail just outside of OKC. We're going to go pick up trash, clean it up, make sure it's nice, kind of take care of the areas that we enjoy. And afterward, depending on how many rigs there are, we're going to go camp either at Fort Cobb, WMA, or if we have too many people going, we may kind of retreat a little bit and head up to Red Rock Canyon State Park, or Red Rock Canyon Adventure Park. Either way, it's going to be a great time. And the other week, I did the video and I talked about making pizzas at camp with my pizza oven. And several of the people that are going to the trail cleanup are like, "Well, you're gonna make us pizzas, right?" So I might. If guys, if you're going and you see this, I'm highly considering bringing the pizza oven and making pizzas. It's just going to depend on the weather and how many people are actually going to stay in camp. So we'll have to see how that goes. But I'll put links for that down there. I'll put links to Quadratech's 50 for 50 thing for the actual Sugar Creek Loop cleanup event. I'll put all that. And if you're watching this and you're anywhere in central Oklahoma area, just so you know, second Saturday of every month is the OKC Rigs and Coffee. I've officially taken over from Michael from All Over Overland. Was running that event. He's moving up to Alaska, so this will be June will be the first month that I'm running it on my own. So hopefully it goes good. Hopefully it's something we can keep going now that he's moving on. It'd be nice that if he came back in a couple of years, if it was still going on, I could maybe pass it back to him. We'll see how this goes. But it's just Just some neat stuff. If you're watching the video on YouTube, just realize we also release this audio as a podcast. You can find it wherever good podcasts are found. Just search Stormcrow Overland. If you are listening to this as a podcast, just know we also record this as a video and we release it on YouTube. Just look on YouTube, look for Stormcrow Overland. It's pretty much the same thing everywhere. Finally, you can also find us on Instagram at Stormcrow Overland. And I'd really appreciate if you like what you're seeing here. If you would like, comment, follow, subscribe, any of those things on any of those platforms. Just, let me know what you think. Yeah, leave me a review, give me a thumbs up, whatever. Send me a message if there's something you want to hear me talk about, or if you've got a question about something, anything like that. I love hearing from people that watch the videos. I'm not going to lie, I get an absolute kick out of getting messages from people that I don't actually know. In my head, I assume it's just like my buddies in town and stuff watching this, and then every once in a while I'll get a message from someone, and I'm like, wait, I don't know this guy. And I realize there's more of y'all out there than just some of my buddies watching this to be nice to me. So if you're out there and you've got a question, send it my way. We'll see if we can get you an answer, or maybe even make a video about it. It's really all I have for you this week. Might have been a little shorter video. I'm not sure. I didn't really watch the timer, but just kind of wanted to share my thoughts on the whole expo thing. And other than that, remember, sometimes you need to go out and get lost before you can find yourself. Thanks for watching.